What's going on, everybody? This is Robbie One Kenobi, and I am bringing you my NXT Takeover Brooklyn predictions. Believe it or not, this is the first prediction video I've ever done on my YouTube channel since I started 1 year ago this September. But of course, this is a huge weekend for professional wrestling for WWE and NXT. Two major shows emanating from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, this is just going to be an incredible weekend for professional wrestling, and I'm really excited for both shows. Of course, Takeover Brooklyn. This is the biggest NXT Takeover special to date, and I'm expecting another really good to great show from NXT. So I will be bringing you guys SummerSlam 2015 predictions later this week, but let's get right down to it with NXT Takeover Brooklyn, which is tomorrow night. I'm recording this as of Friday, so tomorrow night, of course, live on the WWE Network, is NXT Takeover Brooklyn. So there are 6 matches announced on this card. One of them, of course, is the long-awaited debut of Apollo Crews. Indie fans know him best as Yuha Nation. Yuha was actually born in Sacramento, California. He's Bay Area native. Yuha is one of the best indie wrestlers of his generation. And I just found out he will be making his debut. He'll be wrestling Ty Dillinger. Now, at the time, there was no opponent announced. And I'm surprised that Apollo is going to wrestle Ty Dillinger only because they just had Ty Dillinger debut his Perfect 10 gimmick on NXT last week against Solomon Crow, and he beat Solomon Crow. Now, I'm not expecting Apollo Crews to lose this. This is his debut. They've been hyping this up for a while. I definitely am picking Apollo Crews. I definitely expect him to win his debut match. I'm just surprised they're going with Ty Dillinger this early. I honestly thought they'd pick someone else like a Marcus Louis, who he's NXT's resident corporate Kane. He's just a jobber. I hate to say it, but they could have done things with this guy, and they're not. But getting back to the video, I'm picking Apollo Crews to beat Ty Dillinger. I don't think they would hype Crews up this much, knowing his reputation on the independent circuit, and then have him lose to Ty Dillinger. Like I said, I was surprised they were going with Ty Dillinger because they just introduced the Perfect 10 gimmick, and he just beat Solomon Crow. But I don't think a loss, especially in a losing effort against Apollo Crews, is going to hurt his momentum or anything. So I'm picking Apollo Crews, of course, to impress and win in his debut. And I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the table here at in NXT. Next, we have Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. This is the special attraction match. Of course, Jushin Thunder Liger, a renowned legend in professional wrestling, one of the greatest Japanese performers of his time. This is going to be an exciting match, and consensus prediction would be Jushin Thunder Liger to win. And honestly, I believe Jushin Thunder Liger is going to win. I mean, why would you bring the guy in for his very first match ever in the WWE and have him lose to Tyler Breeze? But here's the thing. I like Tyler Breeze. I think if Tyler Breeze was to beat Jushin Thunder Liger, that would do wonders for his career. That would really elevate his career to the next level. I think Tyler Breeze is somewhat of a dark horse on NXT. You know, he's grown on me because I wasn't a fan of him at first, but I like Tyler Breeze. He's a good performer. I think he's underrated. He's a dark horse. He could really benefit from a win against Jushin Thunder Liger. I like what he did on NXT on Wednesday when he wrestled the local jobber and he put the Jushin Thunder Liger mask on his opponent after he beat him. He actually was carrying the mask on a selfie stick as he was making his entrance. So I like how Tyler Breeze has been building this match up. I mean, it's only had maybe 3 weeks build, but I like how he's built it up. He's talking about how he's going to be the next sensation and everything. I like how he put the mask on his fallen opponent after he beat him, and he's all like, oh, well, you know, I expected more of a challenge from you. But that's what I like about Tyler Breeze. Like I said, my prediction is most likely going to be Jushin Thunder Liger to win, but I would love to see Tyler Breeze win because I think they need to establish Tyler Breeze as one of the top stars on NXT. Because think about it. Neville's on the main roster. Kevin Owens is on the main roster. Sami Zayn's most likely going to the main roster in the beginning of the year, in the beginning of 2016. So they need to establish new top stars, and I think Tyler Breeze is one of the best that they can establish. I've said it before. He's an underdog. Not an underdog. I think he's underrated. I think he's a dark horse. I think a win over Jushin Thunder Liger would really help establish Tyler Breeze as one of NXT's future top stars. I can see Tyler Breeze doing big things on NXT and eventually winning the NXT Championship. So my personal pick it's Tyler Breeze. But for this prediction video, I'm going with Jushin Thunder Liger because I don't think they'd bring Jushin Thunder Liger in just to have him lose to Tyler Breeze. I mean, I would be really surprised if Breeze beat Liger because I think he could benefit from this win more than Liger because Liger's already established himself as a renowned international sensation all over the world. So like I said, my prediction is Jushin Thunder Liger, but I will be rooting for Tyler Breeze. I want to see Tyler Breeze get that big win. Hashtag give Tyler a chance. Next, we'll have Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin in what should be a good, hard-hitting big man match. I'm picking Samoa Joe to win this. Nothing against Baron Corbin. I think he's a good big man for now. He's still a little green. He's still trying to find his niche. I don't know what happened. I mean, when he came in as the lone wolf and he was squashing guys in under like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, fans were loving it. And then I guess they just got tired of the same old thing. I mean, you know, it reminded me of Goldberg. When Goldberg first arrived in WCW, he was squashing guys left and right. But the fans, they found something. They found a connection with Goldberg. For Baron Corbin, like I said, I think he's still trying to find his niche. I don't know what happened because he was doing so well, squashing guys left and right. I mean, I kept saying to myself, if they keep pushing and building this guy right, he could be one of the top big men in WWE in the future. But I'm not expecting Baron Corbin to win this match. Baron Corbin's only lost once in his NXT career. Well, to my knowledge, since he was the lone wolf, and that was, of course, to Neville in the NXT Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. But I'm picking Samoa Joe to win because I honestly don't think they're going to have Joe lose his first match in a live NXT Takeover special. I mean, he just debuted in May. A lot of us thought he was going to be feuding with Kevin Owens. We may still get that feud. I'm not sure. But I think what they're going to do is, you know, with Owens now on the main roster, they're going to build Joe up toward the NXT Championship. And he may eventually cross paths with Kevin Owens or with Tyler Breeze. And then eventually, you know, give Joe the title. Joe will become the top man, the main man on the NXT roster. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going with Samoa Joe to win this because I really don't think WWE would bring him in and have him lose in his first match on an NXT TakeOver special. But then again, look at what happened with Sting at WrestleMania 31 earlier this year. They brought him in for his very first WrestleMania match, his very first match in WWE ever, and he lost to Triple H in a match that a lot of us thought he was going to win and in a match that a lot of us thought he should have won. But going back to NXT, I'm going with Samoa Joe to win. This could be a big learning experience for Baron Corbin. We'll see what happens from there, but I'm picking Samoa Joe to win. Up next, the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss defending against the Vaudevillians. Now, what I find unique about this whole situation is the two paths these teams have taken. I remember the Vaudevillains getting a tag team title shot against the Lucha Dragons at our Evolution back in December. And I honestly thought the Vaudevillains were going to win the titles because of how the Vaudevillains were being built up. Those vignettes they were playing where they had those two miniature wrestlers dressed like the Lucha Dragons, and they made the Lucha Dragons out to be bank robbers and stuff like that, made them out to be the villains. But the Vaudevillains didn't win. The Vaudevillains didn't really do much after losing to the Lucha Dragons. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, Blake and Murphy got their big break when they beat when they beat the Vaudevillains prior to challenging the Lucha Dragons for the tag team championships. And then, of course, Blake and Murphy pulled off the upset in early January, did the rematch at Rival, which was a good tag match. It had somewhat of a sloppy start, but overall, I thought it was a good match. It got better as the match progressed. And I really thought that Blake and Murphy, after seeing those matches, I thought they were going to be built up as this dark horse tag team that face any contenders, any challengers, and just go on and have real good tag matches, establish themselves as like the next best NXT tag team champion since the Ascension. Well, it didn't go that way. The way Blake and Murphy have been built, they've been built as that tag team that manages to escape with the titles under any means necessary. You know, they're those heel tag team champions you love to hate and you want to see them get what's coming to them. And now they've added Alexa Bliss, who helped them defeat Enzo and Big Cass at TakeOver Unstoppable. And I like this new character change for Alexa Bliss. She reminds me a lot of a young Trish Stratus with her new attitude change and everything. So Alexa obviously cost the Vaudevillians the tag team titles in the match they had against Blake and Murphy. And Alexa's been testing their manhood, so to speak, by constantly slapping them because she knows they won't put their hands on Alexa. They won't do anything to cause harm to her. So I'm picking the Vaudevillains to win this match. I got a feeling that the Vaudevillains are going to finally win the tag team championships. The thing is, who are they going to bring in to neutralize Alexa Bliss? Because General Manager William Regal said the Vaudevillains better have someone in tow with them to help neutralize Alexa Bliss. They better come up with a plan. Now, if Awesome Kong wasn't signed with TNA, she'd be perfect to bring in. Sign her again, bring her on to NXT. She'd be the perfect foil for Alexa Bliss. I heard that it's going to be Blue Pants who makes an appearance at NXT at Takeover Brooklyn. She's going to be with the Vaudevillains. She's going to ultimately help neutralize Alexa Bliss. So yeah, I'm picking the Vaudevillains. I mean, I heard it's Blue Pants. I don't think it's been confirmed. I mean, it could be anybody. If the Vaudevillains bring in Dana Brooke, that's going to be a surprise, but that could be something good toward helping Dana establish herself in the women's division. I don't think they bring in Devin Taylor as much as I love Devin. I don't think they'd use her. I mean, Devin actually wrestled at WrestleMania Access back in March against Carmella, but I've never seen Devin wrestle, so I don't think Devin would be the perfect fit. Yeah, I'm thinking either Dana Brooke, Blue Pants, or they may bring in another young NXT female wrestler to the roster to help the Vaudevillains. But I'm picking the Vaudevillains to win. I got a feeling this is their night. I do wish Enzo and Big Cass weren't in this match because this would have most likely been their night to finally win the tag team championships. But I hope Enzo and Big Cass get those tag team championships by the end of the year. I know the Lex Man. Was it the Lex Man? I think the Lex Man picked Blake and Murphy to win just so then Enzo and Cass could finally take the titles from him. But I'm picking the Vaudevillains because William Regal said it. You better bring someone to help neutralize Alexa Bliss, and I bet you whoever they bring in is going to help neutralize her and give the Vaudevillains the tag team championships. So now we get to the double main event. First up, the NXT Women's Championship match. The champion Sasha Banks defending against Bayley. Hands down, I'm picking Bayley to win this. This is her time. Last year, Bayley really made a name for herself and really established herself as a future NXT Women's Champion, as a future top women's wrestler. And was last year when I think people really started to take her serious. She had those two really good title matches against Charlotte. She wrestled the likes of Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Bayley is that one NXT superstar that the NXT universe loves. She's that adorable girl next door. She's very, I don't want to say quirky, but she's very spunky in a positive sense. She's very colorful. The wrists, the slap bracelets, everything like that. People love Bayley. And how she's been built, how she's been brought up since arriving on NXT is great. And a lot of kudos to Bayley, the performer herself, Pamela Martinez, because she's really embraced this character and she's really made it work. She has truly earned the admiration and respect of the NXT universe. So I really believe this is finally going to be her moment. Sasha Banks has had a great run as NXT Women's Champion. She's been champion for pretty much 6 months now. Sasha's been great. I don't see the need for Sasha to hold on to the championship any longer. I see this as her send-off. She'll lose the title to Bayley, and then she'll go back to the main roster and do what she does. And this will be Bayley's chance to ultimately establish herself as the top diva. She is the top diva pretty much, not named Sasha Banks on the main roster. Charlotte, Becky, Paige, they're all on the main roster. Sasha. On NXT, you're going to have Bayley, Dana Brooke, Emma, Carmella, Eva Marie, Blue Pants, and whoever else they bring up from the developmental center, because I know NXT is the developmental brand. So Bayley's gonna be that leader. I believe this is her chance. I'm expecting this to be a great, great women's match. Bayley's proven her worth. Sasha's proven herself as a great women's champion. I'm picking Bayley to win. I'll be surprised if Sasha wins this. Sasha did a great job hyping this thing up at the contract signing on Wednesday's episode of NXT, even going as far as briefly mocking that little Bayley girl in the crowd. But yeah, I got a feeling this is going to be Bayley's moment. She will finally win the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be quite an emotional moment if she does. If Sasha wins, I'll be surprised, but I'm picking Bayley to win. I believe this is Bayley's time. And this should be just an incredible women's match. I mean, I would not be surprised if this match ends up being match of the night. And finally, we get to the main event. The NXT Championship ladder match. The champion, Finn Bálor, the demon Finn Bálor, versus Kevin Owens. I have not seen either of these guys in a ladder match, but I was watching Dillinger review last night, or his prediction video, and he said we're going to be in for quite a show because of what Bálor and Owens have done in the past in ladder matches. They've really done a fine job of building this match up. You know, I was fine with the original one-on-one match between Bálor and Owens. The rematch was supposed to be just a traditional singles match for the title. They had an incredible match at Beast from the East. And then Kevin Owens wanted to up the ante because he believed William Regal would find some little niche to aid Finn Bálor. So they're going to do it in a ladder match where only Owens and Bálor can decide the fate of the NXT Championship. I love it. I love how they built this feud. Now, Kevin Owens has a huge weekend ahead of him. He's got the NXT Championship ladder match tomorrow night. And, of course, Sunday he has the big matchup against Cesaro. I'm kind of torn here because I love Finn Bálor. I'm so happy. I was so happy when he won the NXT Championship in Tokyo. That was a fitting homecoming for him. But I feel like Kevin Owens needs the NXT Championship a little bit to help regain that momentum that he lost in the matches he had with Cena and in some of the ways he's been booked since beating Cena at Elimination Chamber on the main roster, of course. And when Kevin Owens said, I need the NXT Championship, I need to win the NXT Championship, it brought back memories of Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2001 when he said in the days leading up to WrestleMania 17 he needed to be the World Wrestling Federation champion. And he did what he needed to do. He sold his soul to the devil to ensure that he won the championship. That is giving me an idea that they may give the title back to Owens. And Owens is going to literally go out and do whatever he has to do to ensure he wins the NXT championship in this ladder match. On the other hand, I don't want to, I'm torn, as you can tell, because I want to see Bálor reign as NXT champion. But then I think that if Owens wins the championship and then goes on to beat Cesaro at SummerSlam, that will be a huge step in rebuilding the momentum he lost following his matches with Cena after Elimination Chamber and following some of the booking he's had on the main roster. And I'll talk more about Cesaro and Owens when I get to the SummerSlam predictions. Honestly, I can see this match going either way. Either Bálor retains or Owens wins the title. If Bálor retains, I'll have no problem with it. Because I think the big win for Owens will be against Cesaro at SummerSlam. But I think maybe that giving Owens back the NXT Championship and having him do what he was doing for a few months, for those months that he was on NXT after his debut, would help him rebuild his momentum. I mean, it's really hard for me to pick a winner in this because I love both guys, but there can only be one winner. I'm going to have to go with decisions. All right. I love both guys, but with how this match is being built, you know, it's really hard for me to make a decision. I mean, a prediction. I'm going to go with oh, man, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to say Kevin Owens and then say no, I want to go with Finn Bálor. I'm going to go with okay, my prediction, I'm going to go with Finn Bálor because I got a feeling they're not going to take the title off him just yet because they know what a commodity how valuable of a commodity he is. But part of me is gonna be rooting for Kevin Owens to win the NXT Championship back, so he can help him ultimately begin to regain momentum that he lost in recent weeks. If Bálor wins, I have no problem with that. He's my prediction. Although, like I said, part of me is gonna be rooting for Kevin Owens. But if Bálor does retain, what I would love to see, and I'll make a completely separate video from this, is a Finn Bálor Hideo Itami rivalry for the NXT Championship that ultimately culminates with Bálor forming his own version, his own NXT version of the Bullet Club. I'd love to see that happen, but I'll save that for a separate video. So those are my predictions, guys, for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn tomorrow night. To recap, my choices are Apollo Crews, Jushin Thunder Liger, although I want to see Tyler Breeze win, Samoa Joe, the Vaudevillians, Bayley, and Finn Bálor, although part of me is going to be rooting for Kevin Owens. So that's it, guys. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me who you think. Tell me who are your predictions? Who are your choices to walk away victorious from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn tomorrow night? And be sure to keep your eyes. I can talk English. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. But anyway, like I was saying, guys, like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know who you think. Let me know who you're picking to win tomorrow night at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And keep your eyes open, because I will be delivering my SummerSlam 2015 predictions very soon.